So we left northern Florida, entered Georgia, headed to Jekyll Island, St. Simons, Brunswick area, spent a few nights there. Headed north to Savannah, but unfortunately didn't get to see a whole lot there due to poor weather. Then we headed west, stayed at Robins Air Force Base in Macon. Then we headed north, got to stay with some friends just outside of Atlanta. And then I spent a few days in Amicalola Falls and got to return to the Appalachian Trail where we did some trail magic for an afternoon, which was cool. And then we ended up leaving Georgia, heading to Tennessee through Alabama. Alright, we spent 2 nights in Valdosta at Moody Air Force Base, waiting out weather, taking care of some vehicle maintenance issues. And we are now heading east, going through Brunswick, where the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center is, over to St. Simons Island. Gonna get some barbecue at Southern Soul, and then probably stay on Jekyll Island for a night or two. All set up at the campground, left the dogs in the van. I think it's a little too hot to bring them to the beach, so we're just checking out Jekyll Island Beach. I'm gonna stay here for a couple hours and then head back. Campground's nice, but it's extremely busy and not a lot of room in the spaces.
Talk about the caterpillars.
And caterpillars falling on your head from the trees. And sand gnats are out. I forgot about those in this area. So this is our campsite here in Jekyll Island.
On a night like this and a dress like that, how could I wanna be anywhere else? Got a heart of gold and a soul to match. Can measure this moment in a photograph. You look so beautiful, baby. I know you're the love of my life. You changed my world. Yeah, you saved me without even trying. I got a feeling
Alright, we left St. Simon's, Jekyll Island this morning. We're trying something different today. We're staying at a hip camp spot, which is pretty much someone's house that they kind of rent out on a nightly basis. So we just arrived. We are going to get set up here, and then we're going to ditch the dogs and drive to meet Yacktrack outside of Savannah. He's going to come down from Hampton, South Carolina, and meet us, and we're going to go out to dinner, hopefully. A little worried because there's thunderstorms tonight, and the dogs are not a fan of thunderstorms, so hopefully it won't be too bad. Jess is talking to the host right now. We're in a little town called Guyton, Georgia. Looks like there's 2 spots there. We're gonna pick one and set up. Well, I don't think we're gonna be walking around Savannah. It is pouring out.
Picked a good day.
Waiting on Yak to get here. He's only 40 minutes late. As expected, Yak. Had a good time catching up with Yak last night. Met his dad, Matt, who spent way too much money on us for dinner and drinks. Did not get to explore Savannah, unfortunately. The weather was just terrible. And if you've ever been there with the cobblestones and whatnot, it's not very easy to get around. Well, it would not be very easily for me to get around in crutches, so that was kind of a wash. We'll have to plan to go back someday so Jess can see Savannah because she's never been. That, and it was extremely packed with people still, even being the day after St. Paddy's Day, because that's one of the main reasons why people go there, is for that Paddy's Day celebration. But we are headed to Alpharetta, just north of Atlanta, but stopping for the night here on Robins Air Force Base. Okay, we have made it to the greater Atlanta area. Going to stay the night with Katie and Scott, who some of you might remember from my AT thru hike. They were the ones that watched my van for a good 4+ months, so it's gonna be good to spend some time with them. Just had a great night with Katie and Scott at their house. It was great to reconnect and catch up with them. Only a night, which is never long enough, but got places to go and people to see. There's going to be a lot of people that we're going to be visiting over the next few weeks, but the next 2 nights we're going to be at Amicalola State Park. It's going to feel a little odd for me to be back where it all started for my hike, and it's going to be very frustrating knowing that I can't jump on the trail, but it'll be cool to show Jess where it all started, and we're hoping to do some trail magic tomorrow. Tonight we are going to link up with Colonel Law, who some of you might remember. He brought my brother and I to the top of Springer Mountain to start our hike. Look at that.
Figured out.
Little picnic area. So we're at Colonel Law's, retired Colonel Law's house, his cabin out in the middle of nowhere in Georgia. It is definitely a little slice of heaven. It's beautiful. He has fox and bear and all sorts of wildlife coming in all the time. So I'll try and show you a little bit of his property. definitely makes us miss living in Tennessee. So we love it out west, but we like it out here as well. Okay, after being at their residence, Jess is ready to drop everything and buy a house out here. But
Beautiful home on a beautiful property.
yep, we're going out to dinner at a Mexican place. Such good people, it's great to reconnect with them.
Both very, very nice. Glad I had the opportunity to meet them.
Yep. Okay, been looking forward to today. Jess is inside Walmart getting supplies, and we're gonna go set up at Neil's Gap and do some trail magic today for the hikers of 2022.
That was not cheap. But it'll be so worth it.
So I did some trail magic today. Now back at the campsite at Amicalola. Pretty nice campground. Stayed here right before I started my hike last year. And tonight is our last night in Georgia because we're heading back to Tennessee. So we're gonna go to the lodge, hopefully watch the sunset and get dinner at the lodge. Not have to worry about cooking tonight. We just sat on the porch here at the lodge and talked to some future thru hikers. Back when I started my hike, I sat here at this table with Ben, my brother, Oopsie Daisy, and I didn't know it at the time, but Rapture sat right here, and I ended up meeting him 150 miles down the trail, and we hiked 1,800 miles together. It's pretty crazy to think about now, and it's kind of hard to think about knowing he's no longer with us, but I'm glad I got to show Jess this place.
Is that you?
High clouds drifting away, leaving no shadows under. First step out of the maze, follow the path and wander. And we go.
Ready when you are.
And we leave all our conclusions. Remember, hope is.
Rained on us all night. We are leaving Amicalola Falls State Park, and this last night was the last night in Georgia for us, so that's probably going to do it for this video. We are heading to Gunnersville Lake in Alabama just for a night or two because there's a tiny home builder there that we want to take a tour of, because we're considering getting a tiny home for our next home.
The strength to be born, and we go with no illusion.
Just like that, how could I wanna be anywhere else? Got a heart of gold and a soul to match. Can measure this moment in a photograph. You look so beautiful, baby. I know you're the love of my life. You changed my world. Yeah, you saved me without even trying.
Alright, checking out Timbercraft Tiny Homes. This is like one of 3 builders that we want to see on our travels. They seem to put out some pretty cool homes, so anxious to see it. Alright, so at the campground at Arnold Air Force Base, so we've made it to Tennessee, here for a few days. So that's going to wrap it up for Georgia. What do you think about Georgia?
I wish we had had more time to explore. I want to go back. It was beautiful what we were able to see.
You say that you wish you had more time for every state.
Well, exactly, because you rushed us through everything.
Well, that's going to change with the diesel prices, so we're going to be here for
A couple weeks here in Tennessee,
probably a couple weeks in Tennessee,
at least.
in a few different spots. But northern Georgia would definitely be something to consider, like the Blue Ridge area, just in the mountains away from most of the humidity. I liked it better when houses were more affordable, but they're definitely more affordable than a lot of the rest of the country. And then, what do you think about doing Trail Magic for the first time?
Very enjoyable. Next time we need to get an earlier start. Lesson learned.
Yeah, there's definitely more to Trail Magic than just buying a bunch of crap and showing up, especially this late in the season. With the bubble happening, there's a lot more Trail Magic going on than I anticipated. So didn't get to see that in my hike, so we're gonna have to plan out where we go a little bit better. But hoping to do more once we get out to East Tennessee. But that's it for this video. Happy trails.
Catch you in the next one.
How could I want